Have you ever been told that you did good at something? Like you did good on an exam, you did good for cleaning the house or cleaning your room, or you did good at a sport and somebody told you that you did a good job. And after you've been told that, do you ever just kind of sit in your own time and out of nowhere you remember that and you feel really warm inside and you feel good about yourself? Like, oh yeah, I am good. I did that. I got a good grade on my exam. I studied hard for it and I feel good about it. Well, our minds are like a garden, and we can be watered from external sources like our friends and family or anybody, you know, who tells us that we've done something good or great. And then naturally, if we choose to accept those words and that gift of those words, we will sit and those words will bubble up from within. And if we accept them, we will water that. But a garden can work both ways. We can water the weeds as well. And what I mean is, we can either reject those kind things that people give us, or we can just plant negative things, or other people can plant negative things. Like if somebody says that you did poorly on an exam, if they were expecting you to get an A, but maybe you got a B or a C, or maybe you got a D because you just needed help, or you did poorly in a sport, or you were unable to do your daily tasks or chores. And oftentimes, it's early on we have been told these negative things, like that we did bad for not doing those things, like getting a good grade or doing good in your sport or so on. And we internalize that feeling and that voice, and the next time it comes up, the next time that environment comes up, maybe it's about cleaning the house and we sit in our room and it's dirty, we'll feel bad about ourselves, or you may feel guilty, or you may feel, as I hit a pothole, or you may feel you may just feel bad, and the next time that thought comes into your head, like, oh, I'm just not good at blah blah blah, then you water that negative thought. And oftentimes, if the weeds in your mind are greater than the flowers and the other plants in your mind, then it's going to choke the other plants up. And what I mean is, the next time somebody tells you, oh, you're so smart, or you work so hard because you did get a good grade on your exam this time, or whatever the case. And then at that point, you have so many weeds in your mind, you don't believe them. You're like, no, it must have been luck. It must have been something else. The exam must have just been easy. Everyone got a good grade on that exam. And you brush off your own flowers in your mind, and you allow the weeds to stay there and grow. It takes a lot of awareness to understand that weeds can be in the mind for years, decades, a long time, where if they're untended, they will stay there indefinitely, or they will continue to grow if we don't become aware and try to let them go. And it's often the environment that triggers that memory or that feeling. Maybe you have a bad relationship with your parents or parental figures, or maybe it's a certain environment like work, for example, where you have a lot of just mental, emotional pain from showing up, and maybe it's a toxic work environment, or it's just something that you're not used to, or you're stressed out spending all day working, i.e. me. But this isn't about me. This is about how our minds work and how easy it is to hold on to the mental weeds and let them continue to grow and fester and ruminate and flood up our mind, and we miss out on the gifts of every day. We miss out on when the sun shines, maybe when the clouds rain and water this earth, maybe on a bird that flies by, on simple things that can water our happiness, but we have so much gunk in our head that we forget, we can't even see them. We can't even see these gifts. And it's hard to accept something whenever you have so much other stuff. When you have so many weeds, you have no room to plant new seeds. And so my point is, in this day and age, there's so much information, and it's so easy to get caught up consuming so much, and it just floods our minds, and it floods our mental space, and there's no room for growth, and there's no room for weeding out the bad stuff. And so practically, the start is to just become aware of how you think and how your mind has been habituated to repeat these thoughts over and over. And especially if you're someone like with ADHD, it becomes way harder to control these thoughts. It becomes impulsive and habitual. And it's up to us to become aware of that pattern and to let it go, because otherwise that pattern is going to rule our lives. It's going to take us unconsciously, whether we like it or not, and lead us. We're going to ignore every environment that brings us pain, and we're going to then just try to live our life of avoidance rather than acceptance and letting it go. And so to accept it, we have to become aware of it. I know this might not make sense for some of y'all, but it's a learning journey. So hope that helped. Thank you.